Hi everyone, and welcome to the Good Woo. This is your weekly woo. Thank you so much for the likes. If you're on YouTube, thank you for subscribing, and let's get into it this week. We pulled TEASEL, which is very interesting because I had a client this week that also pulled this. Its key word is protection, and then we pulled Eagle, which may be my favorite totem of all time. So let's start with Eagle. Eagle is the totem of Great Spirit, our connection with Source, and how we can access a higher perspective, a perspective that gives us a sense of faith in the process. Now, it is also the totem of Vision Quest. And I think we're all on a bit of a vision quest right now as society restructures around this pandemic, and our values are really being brought to the fore for us to analyze. Is what we valued before this situation the same as now? And as society begins to reopen, what will be the precepts that we're going to hold on to? What will be the most important things in our lives? I know for me, things have definitely changed. So when we get Eagle, it's saying, how grand can you hold your perspective of the future? And most importantly, Eagle says to, again, make love to what we know will be unknown, this unknown future. It asks us to have such faith in infinite spirit and in divine order and in divine timing. And it asks us to shed, release all fear around the future. Now, so interesting, because this is what I know from my journeys, that fear blocks our ability to see what we truly want. And when we do the work to constantly cleanse fear from our system, first we must acknowledge it, and we must acknowledge that it's there. And when we acknowledge that fear is there, it instantly propels us to its opposite, which is love. So for instance, if I'm fearful around circumstances with my child, and I really acknowledge the fear, and I said, what is the message of this fear? It instantly reminds me, because you love him so much and you want what's best for him. You want him to be safe. And it propels me into an action to express my love, to confirm his safety. So fear is an important part of the human journey, and it's an important part of any vision quest, of any human earth walk. So we want to acknowledge it first, so that it can propel us into love, that then propels us into positive forward action. So thank you, Eagle, for reminding us that when we are able to access that higher perspective, it's a challenge to stay in that higher perspective. It's so high vibratory. But this week, we're being asked to hold that higher vibrational perspective. And the challenge is, can you even bring your human mind to Source's perspective, all the way up to Creator's perspective on whatever issues you face? Very difficult to stay in that vibration, but the more that you try to do it, the more that it becomes a part of your daily existence. And then we have TEASEL. So TEASEL in traditional Chinese medicine is a medicine for the kidneys, and the kidneys hold our Jing, as they call in traditional Chinese medicine, which is our life force energy, or prana, or qi. So right off the bat, this card is talking to us about our life force energy, which very much corresponds with Eagle, which is the totem of spirit. So we're talking about our prana, chi, our spirit. Now, TEASEL's key word is protection. And TEASEL, actually in its second year of growth, grows thorns on the top of the plant. It is a reminder to us to protect the vision, protect the higher perspective. Now, it also talks about when we're in this higher perspective and we're on the vision quest, we are really going to be aligning with this idea of what we truly want to be doing here. Our purpose is becoming very clear. And with all these planets in retrograde, we're really reassessing, like, what did I do that worked? What did I do that didn't work? And what am I bringing forward to this new vision? You know, we've been on this vision quest. The vision is taking shape. And TEASEL says, don't talk too much about it. Let the seed of this vision incubate within you. And remember your spiny protective parts. Because if you overshare, you know, not to fear other people, but if you overshare, you can dissipate the energy of the vision. If you're not ready to take action on it yet, sit with it, protect it, this higher vision. You know, for me, this is a difficult lesson. Sometimes I get so excited about the projects and I talk about them and then it dissipates the energy. Or I've even talked about them and then other people take it and like do it themselves. Not that that's bad, because we're in a collective experience. If you're having the idea, so are many other people. But this is specifically saying you are getting downloads from Spirit directly as to the next action steps that you're going to want to take. And doubt and fear can creep in if you're talking about it with people who may not be of like mind, or if you're talking about it with people who don't have the courage themselves to live out their dream. So it's saying just be discerning this week about talking about these goals, these new values, these new visions that are springing up. And be very discerning about who you share them with so that you don't deflate your own sense of inspiration, and so that you don't deflate the impetus to take the action steps that you're going to be given. You'll know. Now, there's another message to TEASEL, which is that when we are given ideas and inspiration, and sometimes what can hold us back is old trauma that we've not released. And I pulled a bunch of cards for the extended reading, and this message really came through really strongly, that when we have unresolved conflict and trauma that we're holding, we will easily get into situations, again, where we re-traumatize ourselves through procrastination, right? Or through self-sabotage. So this is saying you've got all these new visions, right? You're getting these downloads. You're asking for them. You're asking, like, what is my next step? What do I need to do here to live the life I truly want? And if it's starting to feel icky and mucky, TEASEL is saying clean out the memories that are bringing the self-doubt into your reference place as you're working on this new vision. And the old failures, right? To really let them go, to cleanse them out, to write them out, burn, you know, write out the scenario that disappointed you and then burn it so that you can move forward unimpeded from the old pain. It's a very beautiful card. And a reminder that it's okay to take your vision like it is a newborn creature. You know, when a baby's just born, we're told as mothers that you don't want to go out for 6 weeks. It's that idea of these new beautiful ideas. You can hold them and protect them this week as the energy around them begins to grow. And you know, Venus goes out of retrograde June 25th, and maybe it's at that point that you'll start taking the action steps. But right now, it's like relish in these moments of conception. Relish in these moments as you build your future dream. We just had this new moon in Gemini. And so we're in, the upswell energy of the moon cycle, which allows us to begin to call in what we want and to manifest. So this week, as you're working on your manifestation techniques and you're pulling in and you're calling in and you're magnetizing what you need to create your vision, remember to take a discerning moment before you open up and start speaking about them. And if you really need to express it, write it down on paper. And whenever we are manifesting, most important is to really hold the emotion of as if what you are wanting is already present within your life. And that does take a certain amount of privacy and a certain amount of intimacy with yourself. So this first week after the new moon, we'll have a 2-week period before the full moon. And the next full moon is an eclipse. So a full moon eclipse. So this first week, it's really, this message is to take this private time to continue to connect with your vision, to open up to the quest of what do I need to do to get in alignment with the energy of having already accomplished what it is that I want. And to do this in a sense of keeping your energy economically distilled around what you're trying to accomplish. And it really is about the economy. I mean, I am famous for TMI. Totally talk too much and, I've given all my ideas away, and this is a week where we don't want to do that. This is a week where we want to have total mastery of our energy, to call it all in, to hone in on the dream. Now, this takes a bit of discipline, but it also takes a lot of trust in self and spirit. And that's what this card is about. Trust that you can do this. Trust that you don't need to overextend yourself in sharing it, and you don't have to prove it to anybody, and you don't need other people to agree with what it is you want for yourself. Because this is about you, your relationship with yourself, and your relationship with infinite spirit. So come join me for the extended. We have some amazing cards to flesh out even further this mission that we're on. And that will be on patreon.com/thegoodwoo. And of course, I'll link that on Instagram, on Twitter. And thank you so much for viewing. And if you want a private reading with me, please email me at info@thegoodwoo.org, or you can head to the website, thegoodwoo.org, and look at the services menu. Thank you so much for viewing, and I wish you all a wonderful week as we begin to wrap up this vision quest, as we are reevaluating our past and what we want to bring in and what we're going to be letting go, so that we can truly be aligned with what we really value. Thank you all.